On November 3rd, 2000, American Pacific train X-39 had departed from Pier Logic facility with three locomotives on the head end. Those being TC-40F number 9596, TC-40F number 9718, and TP-40-T number 7255, pulling 55 cars. The train went up the Johnsonville grade 5. This train was a hot shot intermodal train, meaning that it could go at speeds of 70 miles an hour and make it to its destination quicker than most trains. Heading in the opposite direction was train 4411, or coal train C13. The train consisted of two locomotives this time, and a couple of 49 coal hoppers. The train consisted of SD55 numbers 4411, which is a fictional SD built by EMD, and then following that was GP40-2 number 7367. 4411 was supposed to go into the siding and wait for the 9596 to pass, kind of like this. I'm trying to take the switch. Over here into the siding. 9596 pass. That didn't happen. The 9596, even though it did have priority, the crew miscalculated it and was on the same track now, 4411. And now the crash was inevitable at this point. The train crash, of course, was inevitable, and the two trains would collide at a point at 5:43 in the evening. The SD55 was completely disintegrated in the crash. While the 7255, the leading locomotive of the intermodal train X-39, 9596, crushed it down. The radiator and the prime mover ripped clean out. While the 9718 was crushed completely. The 7255, meanwhile, landed right on top of it and was on its side. It suffered severe frame damage, and the left side was completely caked in, I should say. The prime mover was severely damaged on the inside. 7367 suffered minor damage to its actual car body, but the frame was severely damaged and it could not be salvaged. Even worse was that there was a fire, that a fire occurred and completely destroyed the locomotives, which were already destroyed enough. After this, investigation was opened up at the NTSB, and what they found was that the conductor and the engineer miscalculated the coal train. However, they could not stop in time either, and it happened just before the sighting. So the 9596 crew replaced at fault, but they had no control over it because they couldn't slow down their train fast enough, and they were also a hot shot train. So what do you expect? They couldn't slow down. After the accident subsided, the locomotives on the head end, all 5 head end locomotives on the head end, were a total loss and scrapped. 9718 was only a year old at the time of the crash, along with 9596 being only 2.5 years old. And unfortunately, they didn't really get to have service lives, not much of service life, because they were totally destroyed in the crash. The GP40s, meanwhile, didn't really have that much experience either, being only 4 years old at the time of the accident. They were built in 1996 and built in July and June of 1996. The 4411, though, was a former SD45, but was rebuilt into an SD55 with a middle cab. The middle cab meaning like a cab between like a wide cab and a standard cab. So just the middle cab, that's what it's called. According to cruise and formers and roughings. Let's go over the damages to just make this video even longer. So the Union locomotive, the X39, 9596, had severe damage to its frame after climbing over the top of 4411, and it was deemed a total loss and scrapped, as well as every single unit. Next up is going to be 9718, which is right behind the 9596. 9718, I'll move over here. 9718 was crushed. The cab was crushed. It's behind this package car, by the way. It's crushed, and the rear end was kind of sheared off after 7255 landed on it. Speaking of 7255, the unit had severe frame damage as well as every unit in this crash, along with car body damage on the left side. The left side was so caked in that it was slanted. See how it's slanted right now down to the ground, kind of like this? Well, the car body was slanted down in the direction, so it kind of came down like this, kind of boom. So, not really the best performance for an SGB40. Next up is the 4411. The SD55 was actually built with the durable cabs, the durable middle cabs, because the wide cab was meant for comfort, the standard cab was meant for so the middle cab was meant for safety reasons, but it totally defied its own purpose because the leading locomotive was totally destroyed. Speaking of totally destroyed, the 7367 was also destroyed in the crash. Well, not really. Like, the car body was fine. The car body was intact, but the frame was severely damaged. And to add on to that, the frame was burnt beyond repair. The entire locomotive was burnt, and it was turned from bright orange locomotive into a black, brown, orange-ish, yellow-gray pattern of burns on the side and all over the locomotive. Even some of the hoppers on the cold train and some of the intermodal cars on the intermodal train were burnt and derailed, such as the hoppers that were loaded and unloaded here. And that green hopper is completely destroyed. You can see it right under the square. Here. Right here. So, no GP38s involved in this one because, GP38s were actually ordered a year before in 1996, but none were actually wrecked yet. So, I'm guessing that the first GP40 would have, if like, say 7604 was in this crash, it would have definitely been destroyed because the crash was absolutely horrific. So,
good morning. Last I checked, didn't you? I came to earn my way back into the house. And I heard he and Trish broke up. So I figured he heard him back. Thanks. But no, I'm dumb. Really dumb. Mm-hmm. What happened? Well,
I should mention this before I forget. The conductor and engineer of 4411 were killed instantly upon impact. But the conductor and engineer of 9596 were injured, but minorly injured, so they can get out. They could have gotten out. And they did get out before the fire occurred. The fire was mainly caused by the 4411, 7367, 9596, and 9718. Every single locomotive except for 7255 caused the fire, or had a contributing act in the fire.
Dry your mud.
it's gonna
Summer?
take a little
This is the last picture before we end this video. This is the main point of disaster right here.
What's the address?
You can see all the locomotives there in the pile up. Got 7255, 9718 right behind this baggage car, 9596. 4411 is under there, under this coal hopper right here. Right there, someone can kind of see it. And the 7367, which is behind, which is on top, on the 9596. Right there. So
So, dry your mouth in water.